How's it going, everybody? Coming to you today because we're going to be doing a review on the Gowutar, I'm going to call it the Gowutar. It's Gowutar micro optic. This is the same size or same footprint as the Shield RMSC or the Holosun 407 507K series. It's meant for your smaller guns, something similar to your Glock 43X or your Hellcats, that sort of thing. That's the footprint that this is in. We're going to do a quick look at it. I've already got it installed on the pistol. We're going to do a quick zero, and then we're going to see how it holds up to some normal uses. This isn't a duty rated optic, and I don't expect it to behave like a duty rated optic. So without further ado, let's see what you get when you order it. Let's do some shooting. The Gowutar micro optic. Here we go. Oh, as you can see, my box got damaged a little bit. That was done by a puppy. It did not come this way. The box held up to a 8-week-old French Bulldog, so it's got that going for it. Now, the Gowutar, as I'm going to call it, has a shake-awake design, RMSC cut. It is 7075 aluminum, 10 brightness settings, waterproof, shockproof, fogproof. See the difference? Just go and do precise hit. Anyway, so that's the box. Yours will come minus puppy damage, I'm sure. Here is SKU and item number so you can find it. Inside the box, you'll get your instructions and such, warranty, all of that good stuff. It's on good cardstock. You get a cleaning cloth, which is it's kind of normal size, I guess. Well, probably, I don't know, 4x4 or so size. You get a rubber cover to cover the optic. Probably won't ever use that. You also get, this is something I really like, you get several different bolts or screws, and they tell you what the specifications are on each one, so you're not having to guess and say, is this the 5mm or how long are these? And I mean, you get a ton of them, so it's easy to find which one works for your particular application. But I was really impressed with that. I mean, it's something as simple as just marking them to make it easier for us. You get your tools, and it comes with a small base to where you can put it on something that has a rail. Obviously, I'm not using this for my application, but it's something, you know, keeps you from having to buy if you want to do this on a rail of something like a 1022 or your AR or whatever. And do not eat. That's the last thing in the package. So let's have a close-up look at the optic, and we'll go from there. Okay, I have this mounted on my Ruger 5.7, no magazine, nothing in the chamber, safe direction. There we go. The machining doesn't look bad. You've got a built-in iron sight, your screw for your windage. There's your elevation. See if I can get you to see the green dot in there. You can see the front sight. There it is. Turn it up a little bit. It is super bright out here today. There you go. You can see the green dot there. I have a slight stigmatism, so all of these kind of have that starburst look to them. This one is the same, and that's just my eyes. I can't give a good judgment on how precise and how clear the dot looks on any of these, like I said, because of that stigmatism that I have. But it's not a bad looking optic. Let's get it zeroed real quick and test her out. Whenever possible while zeroing, I always try to use some sort of rest. It just makes yourself be a little bit more accurate. I've got a target there at about 25 yards. I just stepped it off, so it's not exact, but it's going to be close enough. And I'm going to be shooting the 5.7. This is the SS197 from FN, and the Gowutar on the Ruger 5.7. I don't know if I'm even going to be on paper, so I've got to take a shot, see where we're at, make some adjustments, go from there. Try to get us a good 25-ish yard zero, using the truck for a rest. Again, not a perfect rest, but something to at least take some of that human error out. So here we go. First shot, windage is pretty close, but my elevation is several inches high, so I'm gonna have to bring it down. There is no clicks on your elevation. So you're just kind of turning, kind of like the, was that the SIG Romeo Zero, where you don't have any clicks. So I don't really know how far each adjustment is. I'm just gonna have to do like quarter turns or half turns until I get closer to the bullseye. That was a pretty good guess. I got just about an inch high of the bullseye, so I'm gonna adjust a little bit more on my elevation down. Again, without having any clicks, I got, there we go. Had a gnat behind my eye, or behind my glasses. Again, without having any way to tell how many clicks your elevation is, I'm assuming the windage is the same, but I'm just having to guess by roughly turning it. Hopefully I didn't go too far and now I'm below and then have to go back up, because you don't really have any even marks to go off of. You know, if you had a bunch of tiny little tick marks, you could kind of guess at least, but I don't even have that. The dot covers up the bullseye at this distance. So, okay. Let me see if I can get you to just see it here. Well, that's probably not helping accuracy. Here was our first shot. Here was the second shot. I made a slight adjustment and hit here, here, and right below the original. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it down just a smidge more. And I'm really close. If you take the average of these three, it's probably about right there. So I'm gonna try it just a hair down further, and hopefully my target won't blow around too much, which really kind of messes with accuracy. So we'll see what we can do. I just made that other tiny adjustment down. We're gonna shoot and see what we've got. I took a stick and propped it against the leg of the target to try to mitigate some of that blowing back and forth. It wouldn't necessarily be a lot, but if you're going from here to here, it does change your exact point of impact from your point of aim. So it's not going to be much, but I want to try to be as close as I can. Let's see what we got now. All right, so we had 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now we got 1, 2, and 3. So I think it's pretty darn close. I believe I'm going to try to move over just a hair to the right, but you know, I'll take that. Not as tight as I would like. I would like all of them to be in the X, and ideally they should all be touching, but yeah. So I'm gonna do a slight adjustment to the right, and I think we're pretty much zeroed. So now that we've got a baseline 0, let's see how much of a little bit of bouncing around this optic can take to stay on 0. So I'm not going to do anything crazy. Like I said, I don't believe this to be a duty rated optic, but it should be able to stand up to, you know, being in your gun safe, or riding around on an ATV, or in your razor as you're going out and checking your cattle or something. So we're going to do a little bit of bouncing around and see if we can stay on 0. So here we go. Okay, I wanted to show that the gun is safe, to kind of be a little manhandle-ish with it. No magazine. No magazine, nothing in the chamber. Safe direction, triggers pulled, safety's on. All right, so let's see. Got a little bit of my truck paint on it. Try the bumper a couple of times. Okay. And then try it on the side. And on the side. Like I said, I don't believe this to be a duty rated optic, so I think this probably ought to be about the extent of an extreme test for something that you would have, you know, on your side-by-side. Or maybe something you'd throw in your old farm truck or something like that. So, bounced it around a couple of times. We're gonna load it up and see if it was able to hold 0. Put my ears on. Gun is safe. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Let's see if that held 0. I might have pulled one of those. Trigger didn't break how I was expecting it to. So if there's one that's like a flyer that's obvious, that was probably me. Not really seeing anything that would be too disturbing to me. I'm starting to get a lot of bullet holes, so it's hard to remember exactly which ones were which. But I'm still pretty much right there. This time, let's try kind of banging it on some rocks instead of the truck. Again, nothing crazy, but just something to kind of see, you know what I mean? so far pretty darn good. Gun is still safe from a while ago. Go ahead and show you again. Nothing in the chamber, no magazine, nothing in the chamber. Safe direction, and the safety is on. So, some small drops. Like I said, I don't believe this is duty rated. I'm not going to treat it like I would something that says it's duty rated. Couple of little scratches, nothing else wrong with it. Let's go ahead and see how she did. Safe, empty, clear, safety on. All right. So we kind of banged it on the truck. We've done a small drop test on some rocks. I'm still staying relatively zeroed. If there's shifting, it's minor. Like I said, it's getting hard to tell due to all the bullet holes here. Again, not freaking bad. 25 yards, not bad. So I think, you know, for a budget optic, it's not bad. It's got some flaws, don't get me wrong. But for me shooting and 25 yards with astigmatism on a green dot and a slight torture test, I'll take it. That's not bad at all. All right, let's go back to the tailgate. We'll have our final thoughts on the Gowutar micro red dot, green dot. First thoughts, not a bad little optic. Again, I don't want to consider this as duty rated. I would have to do a lot more testing and be a lot more rugged on it before I ever recommended for something that you were going to carry. I'm not ever really going to carry the 5.7. It's a good range gun. It's a lot of fun to shoot. I really enjoy the 5.7 round. The optic, man, you know, the little bit of rough stuff I did to it, you know, it stayed on 0. So don't really have, I'm not going to recommend this for duty use or to save your life. But if you need something for your kids 22, something for you to put on something you're going to plink with and have fun with and maybe do some possum popping or, you know, something like that, yeah, it definitely works for that. Major flaw, in my opinion, is not having like the clicking detent on your adjustments. I hate that. It makes zeroing very difficult compared to, I went 3 clicks, I'm too far, I'm going to go back 2, I'm on. Not having any sort of lines on the elevation to where you can say, oh, well, I went 3 lines, I'm going to go back 2. You could at least do that. The little bit I was off on my windage was within the lines that are painted. So these lines, they're a little bit too far apart without having some sort of locking detent. Brightness works. I actually had to turn it way down. So, I mean, bright sunlight, you're going to be able to see it no problem. It's not a bad looking optic. Even on, you know, on this gun, it looks really well. For me, the biggest distractor from it is I don't want to say it's duty rated. I don't want to say it's something you can depend your life on. And the second biggest thing is I don't like having the detents that click. That's personal maybe, but I said I wouldn't recommend for life-saving, but for everything else, it's probably going to be just fine. And it might hold up more than I'm giving it credit for. I just don't want to recommend something the first time I take it out. If it was a Trigicon, if it was even a Holosun, those have been proven now. This one hasn't been proven. So that's my first thoughts, first shots on the Gowutar micro dot. Mine's in green, they make it in red. I recommend, with the caveat that you don't expect it to be duty rated, and with the caveat that if you do want to use it on something to save your life, you need to do a lot more testing than I did. You know, getting a 0, banging it around a little bit, that's not the same as testing for duty rated. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Get you the Gowutar as long as you can meet those 2 caveats, and I think you'll be golden. As always, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. This has been First Look, First Shots with the Gowutar Micro Dot.